Hello everyone, welcome to Hero Registry. Today we're going to share some theories about Disney villains that are so compelling they might as well be true. While theories aren't confirmed facts, the ones we're discussing today have a very high probability of being accurate. Let's start with Cinderella, one of the most famous Disney princesses, Lady Tremaine, a ruthless murderer. In the story of Cinderella, her father suddenly passes away after marrying Lady Tremaine, a mother of two. Lady Tremaine, of course, is Cinderella's notorious wicked stepmother. The suddenness of Cinderella's father's death doesn't seem normal. It's undeniable that Lady Tremaine married Cinderella's father for his castle and wealth. If Cinderella had come of age, she would have been the rightful heir to the castle. However, under British law, Lady Tremaine would rule the castle until Cinderella reached adulthood. This leads to the theory that Lady Tremaine murdered Cinderella's father before she came of age. It's also possible that she used the same method to kill the father of her own ugly daughters, Anastasia and Dres, simply to marry a wealthier man. She likely planned to kill Cinderella too, but kept her alive because Cinderella, disinterested in the inheritance, was useful as a domestic servant. While everyone sees Lady Tremaine as a wicked stepmother who seized wealth, she's a far more ruthless villain than one might imagine. Maleficent, a mother's vengeance. Next, let's talk about the villain from Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent. On Princess Aurora's birthday, Maleficent curses her to prick her finger on a spinning wheel and fall, went to an eternal sleep. When Maleficent appears, Queen Leia, Aurora's mother, seems more agitated than anyone else. The theory suggests that Maleficent actually helped Queen Leia conceive a child. At the beginning of the movie, the king and queen are shown to be struggling to have a child. So, the queen seeks Maleficent's help to conceive. Aurora was born through Maleficent's magic. However, the queen forgot to invite Maleficent to the birthday celebration, breaking a promise, which led to the curse. It's quite understandable to be angry when you're not invited to the birthday party of a child you helped bring into the world. Maleficent isn't simply evil for evil's sake. She's merely retaliating for being angered. Hades, the cooler, the deadlier ruler. Next movie is Hercules. The main villain is Hades, the ruler of the underworld, the god of the dead. Hades' fiery hair is typically blue. The color of these flames represents his emotions and power. When Hades gets angry, the flames change color to yellow, orange, and red. The angrier he gets, the higher the flames rise, and the colors shift from blue to orange, then to red. This change in color actually indicates a decrease in his power. In terms of physics, blue flames are the hottest, white is the second hottest. After that come yellow, orange, and red. Orange is the most commonly seen flame color, and red flames have the lowest temperature. This implies that Hades is most dangerous and powerful when he is calm and collected. The color changes as he becomes agitated and angry signify a natural phenomenon. As his emotions intensify, his power diminishes. Sid, a misunderstood toy enthusiast. Some of you might remember Sid, the villain from Toy Story. It's been a while, so you might have forgotten him. Sid is a boy who likes to take toys apart and put them back together, acting like a genius. For him, it's just playing, but for the toys, it's destruction. That's why in Toy Story 1, Sid appears as a toy killer, a nightmare for the toys. 15 years later, in Toy Story 3, we see Sid working as a garbage collector. The theory is that he chose this job out of all the available options because he wanted to collect discarded toys and continue his childhood hobby of cutting, gluing, and reassembling them. While it seems ruthless from the perspective of living toys, from a human perspective, it's just a normal hobby. Gaston the Beast's dark reflection. There's also a theory about Beauty and the Beast's main villain, Gaston. Actually, the character of Gaston is more than just a typical village bully. Gaston's character embodies the personality the Beast might have had if he had remained human. Both have blue eyes and are quite arrogant. They both boast about their wealth and are proud of their handsome appearances. The Beast was cursed due to his selfish actions, and Gaston also met a bad end. While their lifestyles and endings differ, their personalities and actions in their prime were similar. This suggests that Gaston wasn't created as a simple villain. He was created as a mirror version of the Beast, implying that if the Beast hadn't been cursed and transformed into a monster, he wouldn't have learned any lessons and would have died a terrible death due to his arrogance. Scar, a king without wisdom. Next up is the Lion King. In the climax of the first movie, Simba gives his uncle Scar a choice: run away to survive, or fight for the throne. It's clear that an old lion like Scar is no match for a strong and agile young lion like Simba. Scar had absolutely no chance of winning. However, Scar didn't run away and accepted Simba's challenge. This is because Scar is unable to distinguish between right and wrong or cause and effect. He also lacks the ability to assess situations. He doesn't understand that Simba is stronger than him. He still sees Simba as the little lion cub he used to bully. He is consumed only by his jealousy of Simba's father, Mufasa, and his desire to dominate and eat all the animals in the jungle. His brother Mufasa, unlike Scar, fully understands the ecosystem and is a visionary who deserves to be king. Scar's inability to even recognize that his opponent is stronger than him clearly shows his weakness not only in physical strength but also in wisdom. This highlights that Mufasa became king not just because he was Scar's older brother or stronger than Scar, but because he possessed the intelligence suitable for a king. His son Simba, who befriended even the lowest animals in the food chain, can undoubtedly rule the entire jungle with compassion. Captain Hook, a lost boy's vendetta. Finally, let's discuss Captain Hook. There's a theory that Captain Hook, Peter Pan's villain, was once one of the lost boys. We've previously discussed the theory that Peter Pan isn't just a fun-loving boy, but a child abductor who brings children to Neverland. Children who arrive in Neverland never grow old physically. However, their minds continue to develop. So the abducted children become adults in children's bodies, while they initially enjoy constantly playing when they still have a childish mindset. As they mature and begin to think, they start too long, for whom they then asked Peter Pan to send them home. At that point, Peter Pan gets angry and banishes them from Neverland. One of those banished children is Captain Hook. Furthermore, the people on his ship are also those who were expelled from Neverland, just like him. The reason why Captain Hook, a pirate, relentlessly hunts Peter Pan, who has no valuable possessions to plunder, is simply hatred. This theory fills the plot hole of why Captain Hook despises Peter Pan so much. And that's all for today's video.